Okay, the next section is still proportions, but it's a specific type of percent proportion. It's percent of change. Okay, the percent of change describes how much a quantity increases or decreases compared to the original number. So to find the percent of change, there is, and this is something that a lot of students forget, but it's always on the STAR test. So this is the special formula proportion for these problems, and these are the steps. The first step is very important. You have to find the amount of change. Okay, to find that, you just subtract the original and the new amounts. And then you have to do this proportion. Okay, so let's look at example C. The average temperature last May was 80 degrees, and the average temperature last June was 90 degrees. What percent did the average temperature increase from May to June? Okay, so our first step is to find the amount of change. Okay, well, my two numbers are 90 and 80. Well, that's pretty easy. The amount of change is 10. Okay, my second step is the proportion. It's the amount of change over the original amount equals the percent of change over 100. Okay, so the amount of change we just found is 10. The original amount, this is another one that's a little tricky. You have to figure out, it's going to be one of these numbers, but which one is it? Don't think about which one's bigger or smaller. It's which one was first. And usually they'll say, or sometimes, and this helps, if you see the word from something to something, from is where it started. Okay, so this is your original amount, 80. Okay, and that equals the percent of change is what you're trying to find. That's your x over 100. And now all we need to do is solve this proportion. 80 times x is 80x, and that equals 100 times 10. So 80x equals 1,000. And I've run out of room, so I'm going to bring that over here. Okay, now I need to get x by itself by dividing both sides by 80. And those go away, x is by itself, and this is something nice right here. Whenever you have matching zeros at the end, you can cancel those out. So now I just have 100 divided by 8. 8 will go into 10 one time. That's 8. Subtract, and you get 2. Bring down the 0. 8 goes into 20 2 times. That's 16. Subtract, and you get 4. Add a decimal and a 0. And 8 goes into 40 5 times. So my answer is 12.5%. And that's how you do percent of change. Okay, there's a lot of important parts there. You have to find the amount of change. You have to use this proportion. Sorry about the bell. You have to use this proportion, and you have to know the original amount. Okay, go ahead on to the next one.